So, as you can tell, my overlay is all kind of wonky and messed up a little bit. Also, OBS has been an utter nightmare lately. I use OBS Stream Elements, and it's been absolute nightmare as of late. Uh, Anywho, welcome to the show. I am back from vacation. I have been doing a lot of freaking work. Also, notice the chat screwed up too. In this little blue box right here, your comments are supposed to be popping up, but for some reason, you know, that's not happening today. Double checked everything, checked the website, checked the browser. Everything else is functioning, everything else is fine except for that and my overlay. So there you go. You're just going to have to look at this blue stuff without all the other things, like my website stuff would be here and pictures of the show, and over there would be like a little emblem like my show, and then up there it's like the little boss bar where, so it's just, oh my God. Oh, hey. So let me say hi to everybody. Hey, Missy Ann. So, God. Hey, Epsilon is greater than. Welcome to the show. I'm doing just like kind of a little coffee chat today, catch up with everybody, see how you're doing, talking about the latest news. Obstructed bowel syndrome. Yeah, that's pretty much what OBS is. It's a software that I use to stream to multiple platforms. Mistaken Reaper's here. How you doing, man? Nether's here. What's going on? Good morning to Epsilon is greater than. You haven't been able to watch live in ages. I'm glad you're here, Missy Ann. I have not been streaming in ages. It's been like a couple of weeks, and so I'm going to talk a bit about what's going on. Hope you guys are doing all right. Mr. Shadow Kitty, how you doing? All righty. And say hello to Math Pig. I've been on Math Pig's show before. He's pretty funny. He still doesn't know Danny Boy. Tell him I'm still going to hold him personally responsible for not knowing Danny Boy. And he's freaking Irish. How can you not know Danny Boy, Math Pig? I'm calling you out. Learn Danny Boy so we can sing it together. How you doing, Lordship Mayhem? You're from Toronto. You like the Starfield background. Normally there's other stuff here. Okay, normally. But it's like, Jesus, it's just... Nether slightly hungover. What are you doing, Nether? You going? It's like yesterday was my brother's stag night. Oh, that's cool. Y'all look at my new mug. I got some equation. I got some equation game going on. We got the ideal gas law. We got the force law. Oh, look, we got a little bit of quantum here. Quantum particle stuff going on. We got some geometry. Check it out. Who doesn't know Danny Boy? Well, Math Pig doesn't, and he's Irish. So shame on him, right? I know. So I'm going to turn on my fan because it's a bit hot, guys. Here's Nina, my science dog. That's her spot. So when I work, she'll come over here and sit. It's cool. I actually got it off the Amazon. Anyway... So I went on vacation. I went on a social distance vacation. How do you do that, you might ask? Rent an RV. So I rented an RV. I took some pictures and now my hair's... Anyway, I rented an RV and I went to Pomme de Terre Lake in Missouri. Absolutely freaking gorgeous, guys. It's so gorgeous. Rented a pontoon boat. Tootled around the ocean a little bit. It was pretty cool. I also stayed at a campsite, recreation.gov, guys. You can find hookups, like different campsites with electricity and water. So it's kind of like glamping. That's a word now, glamping. So had a shower hookup. I had a stove, kinda. Did not cook inside so much because there was fire pits. So I used that, right? That's how I do nature. So this was Lightfoot Landing out there at Pomme de Terre Lake. Lots of people not wearing masks, though. Fortunately, I just stayed in my area. Every once in a while, I'd have to go to the store. Not too far from a store. But the convenience store there, guys. Okay, they have Sinclair's out there. That's a type of convenience store. She is a good little peanut, Miss Ian. She's so cute. She does not like the lake, by the way. Thought she might enjoy getting a little wet in the lake, had the life vest on, was holding her. It was a, oh, hell no from her. She was like, nope, nope, do not want to get in the lake. So got halfway in and freaked out. And I'm like, okay, no, it's all right. You don't have to go. You don't have to be in the water with me. She was mad for a little while, and then she forgave me, so it was okay. Yeah, Sinclair the Green Dinosaur. How you doing, Mike G? So it was a really big bathtub. Yeah, she doesn't like baths either, so I don't know why I thought, Nina might like the lake or something. She just was not a fan of that. But she loved being outside. And she doesn't normally get to do that because out where I live, I have lots of predatory birds. We have hawks and eagles. Well, not eagles, hawks and owls. And then there's also, snakes. And then coyotes. There's, she is a tasty snack for some of these. So, hey, Dynacat loves me. How you doing? So she didn't like the lake. She could have probably been eaten by a pretty big fish too. They got big enough to chomp, But it was fun. So check that out. Lightfoot Landing. Not expensive at all. Very well spread out. As I said, electricity and water was there. Pretty decent signal on your cell phone, so I was able to still do some work because that's what you're supposed to do on vacation, work of it. But no hate on that. I am grateful. I have a job and I love what I do, so that's good. Video of the food chain in action, Mandalia. Correct. You are absolutely correct. So Mike G, Sinclair the Green Dinosaur, going back to the convenience store, nobody was wearing masks. And I have black cloth reusable ones. I have like a huge pack. And then I also have like the little gator that comes up over. So for this particular trip, I just was wearing the cloth mask. And I walked in. Nobody in that convenience store was wearing masks. The cashiers weren't. People making food weren't. Nobody was wearing masks. And I'm just like, I just need to pick up a couple of things. I pick up a couple of things. I have a process to sanitize things after I pick it up. And as we're walking around, somebody's like, damn liberals. I'm like, I'm wearing this because I was coming from a state that has an increasing amount of cases. And I'm like, I don't want to spread this to you. I don't wear this because I think it's fancy, sexy, and cool. I wear this because I, care about other humans and I don't want them to die just in case I'm carrying an extremely lethal virus for, millions of Americans. But hey, who cares? Right? I don't want to be patient X that's passing this along to other people. But you got that. I've been flipped off at the post office by an old guy with a handicap decal on his car, and I'm like, you're probably high risk, my dude. I am wearing this so you don't die. But okay, flip me off and be mad. I haven't been camping in Pearly in nearly 10 years. Mistaken Reaper, I'm sorry. I had a face-to-face confrontation with a coyote, and I live in an urban grid in the New Jersey Shore. Wow, that's something. Missy Ann, that was Mr. Shadowkitty. Missy Ann says that happens up here as well. It says on the door it's mandatory for customers to wear them, but none of the employees wear them at 7-Eleven. I mean, it's like, it would have been kind of cool to maybe get some barbecue or some pizza out in this area, but most of the people were not wearing masks. And I'm like, I don't want to eat anything from any of these places because, I mean, at least if you're handling food, wear a freaking mask. did manage to find some barbecue at a place where they were socially distancing. That was very hard to find in Missouri, guys. Sort yourselves out, for real. And let me just be honest with you. Your barbecue ain't so great. I was brought up on barbecue like Memphis barbecue. Missouri ain't got nothing on Memphis barbecue. I've had Texas barbecue. I've had barbecue out in Vegas. Let me say that it ain't barbecue. I've had barbecue in New Orleans. That's barbecue. Okay, Louisiana knows how to do barbecue. Let me say Missouri, y'all ain't doing barbecue right. Texas is doing a different kind of barbecue, and it's a different flavor, and I can understand that. Louisiana is doing barbecue pretty good. But Missouri, at least I didn't get St. Louis barbecue. I have to say, I've not had St. Louis barbecue in a while, but let me just say where we were, Palm de Terre Lake, that area near Kansas City, your barbecue ain't that great, man. I had to add spicy hot sauce to it to make it taste like, good barbecue. Okay. And by the way, I have done a show on barbecue and the different types of it and what beers pair nicely with barbecue, in case you're wondering. The science of beer and barbecue. Check that out sometime. COVID's not real, Missy Ann. Didn't you know that? All these people dead in the hospital, they're paid actors. All these funerals, they're paid actors, Missy Ann. It's a conspiracy. Conspiracy. Is that what Cartman would say if it was South Park? Conspiracy. Mike G says, I travel for work full time. I've given up apologizing for keeping others safe. I do, however, carry bear spray on my belt for the times that wants to fight me over keeping them safe. I've thought about doing similar, Mike G, so I feel you there. Absalon. Luckily, where I live, nearly everyone wears a mask. Of course, a disturbing number of people didn't wear them correctly. Lots of exposed noses. No kidding. I hear that there's like a cheeky thing that they call those people who have their nose sticking out, very much like having your genitals sticking out of your pants or your underwear. It's like, why do that? Please cover all of your fluid holes. These are fluid holes. These are fluid holes. Eyes and ears, you can't really expel stuff out of your eyes, except some people can do that with milk. But if you're walking around doing that normally, I would have questions for you. But, normal use of eyeballs, you're not expelling fluids out of it. You are expelling fluids out of your nose and mouth. And downstairs. If you're going to cover your downstairs, which expels all kinds of fluids, cover your nose too, man. All of your fluid expulsion holes should be covered during a pandemic. Even in a nudist camp, you need to cover your fluid expulsion holes during a pandemic. Don't care who you are. Okay? Oh my goodness. It's frustrating. Oh yeah, I've heard about a lot of good barbecue places. Missouri is never listed as one of the... It's really not, Missy Ann. Their coleslaw ain't even that great either. And their potato salad ain't all that great either. It's like, I'm glad I brought me... You can get all kinds of different barbecue sauces. So in my RV, I had Corky's spicy barbecue sauce that you can have shipped in from Memphis. Rendezvous sauce is pretty good. Didn't have it this trip, but I had the Corky's, and that made it better. How do you mess up barbecue? I don't know. Hey, family. I love painful food. Bring on the hot sauce, says Delilah Hornbuckle. How you doing? So... What's going on, Delilah? I know. I do kind of like painful food as well. To the point to where you cry a little. And you might sweat. You might get the sweats a bit. And it clears up. It's like, give me some really good wasabi. That's almost why I love sushi. Is because I will eat so much wasabi. Because I can breathe. Because I have allergies. And it's like, just suck down some wasabi and that'll clear me right up, man. It's great. Just eat it straight out the tube. Yep. You're right with the underwear, Missy Ann. Fluid holes. You've never seen milk coming out the eyeballs. Oh, we gotta find a YouTube video for you, Missy Ann. Let's find that. You can squirt. My neighbor used to do this. My childhood neighbor. Hey, Godless Granny, how you doing? Hey, Purple Rhymes with Orange. My neighbor used to be able to take milk in her mouth, or was it in her nose? I can't remember. And then she would squirt it out her eyeballs. Let me see if I can find that. See, this is why I love the internet, and I love that I have. Okay. This was an American. Oh God. Somebody from America's Got Talent. Apparently there's something on this, so I'll probably be like, demonetized immediately. So let's see what businesses are all connected in this way. And so some people have the ability to squirt it out. So I'm going to skip ahead a bit. Here we go.
So this has been a very long day. But you know what? I'm going to keep an open mind. Let's take a look at this. Young blood, everybody.
Okay.
All right.
So this person.
Young blood.
I haven't seen this, but imagine this is going to freak him out at least.
Oh.
I forgot his name. Sucks it in the nose. Okay.
He's not gonna. What is he gonna do?
Can't believe this is busy and nose sucking. Yeah, there you squirting out the eyes. Oh my gosh. There you go. Isn't that fun? I do want to apologize if you're just joining. For whatever reason, Stream Elements is not functioning correctly because I would have stuff here, I would have stuff down there, and my chat is messed up. So OBS is being an obstructed bile syndrome, somebody had said earlier. It's being a butt. But yes, there you go, Miss Ann. You learned something today. People can squirt milk out their eyeballs. I guess Streambot, everything is weird. Okay, YouTube recently switched to where it's almost impossible to use the classic setup anymore. And so I know last week I was running Evolution Hour. I know RJ was having a problem with YouTube. So when they switched over to the new format, I've had issues with Restream, OBS, and with YouTube from them switching with the new format. So it's nuts. Carolina barbecue. Have not had Carolina barbecue, Mike G. Oh, goodness. It's okay. Cry and sweat. That's right, Delilah. When we eat, we should be doing that. Wasabi peace. I'm catching up on the chat. Underwater, I can blow bubbles out my eyes. You could probably do that. I mean, you have some connections there. Oh, I'm sorry I'm making people sick. Even hate neti pots. I don't mind it too much, Delilah. I don't mind it too much. Hello, Planet Lupa. But you know, it's like it's so weird if I be able to breathe. I want to know how he figured out if he snorts milk, it comes out his eyes. I'm not certain. I know some people accidentally squirt stuff out their nose from laughing so hard. Maybe it was a situation like that. I'm feeling pain for that. It's just, for real, it's like, that's a solid stream. That's a lot of propulsion there, guys. I mean, that's like a lot of force behind that ejection there. So unless you're doing that regularly, you don't have to wear an eye mask over your eyes unless you're a fluid expulsion person like that. Just cover your fluid holes. That's how we segued to milk out your eyes. That's why our instinct is to close our eyes when sneezing so that duct is pressed closed and we don't shoot snot into our eyes. Well, fair enough, Nether. I'll have to look that up. The new format does suck, Miss Ann. It's terrible. Hello, Gian Mary Castle. How are you doing? Thanks for joining us on Facebook. Okay. All right. So, I've kind of caught up on the chat. So some really cool things are happening. Next Friday, I will be doing my Shenanigans Isolation game show again. I have a new format, so it'll be kind of cool. We're also raising money for Godless Cranium. if you don't know them. He primarily does gamer Twitch streams. Every once in a while he talks about different social issues on YouTube. Recently, he and his fiance lost their house, not from essentially what happened is the home that they were renting was sold out from under them. And so they have a minimum amount of time to switch to a new place. So I offered to do a live stream to try to raise money for Godless Cranium. So part of what I do here is to help out other creators and other individuals. You know, the individual with a small bit of help can help out an individual, but I also do contribute to other charities, like my website, scientismel.com/shop. A lot of the merch there, the proceeds go to various organizations, including LGBTQ plus places like the Trevor Project. The past couple of months, I've been donating all of my Patreon money to Black Lives Matter because I haven't been streaming as much. And so I'm happy to show receipts for that if you want. But I have been, I do try to give back in the ways that I can. And that's kind of part of what we do now. So, oh, must run to get ready to be a granny later. Get her. Bye, Delilah. Congratulations. I hope it's okay. Gian Mary Castle says, if that's possible, can we do it in reverse, like drink through our eyes and spill it through our mouth? Maybe our nose. You would think so, but trying to get it into the eyes, I mean, I think that would be very difficult. You don't have as big things there. Yeah, it is pretty awful. So I've donated a bit to the GoFundMe. So next Friday, if you are interested in being a panel member on the game show, if you kind of want to see what the format is like, I did one a few weeks ago, the self-isolation shenanigans. If I can pull up my own YouTube channel. So let's have a look here. So here, all right, for whatever reason, this takes forever. It's got to load up, but you can go there, have a look. I don't know why it's doing this.
I got 3.
Not the last word, but
you
it
can say
counts.
things like that here. And here's
Wait,
an
the last word is tank?
Thanks. Thanks.
With an O?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I'm sure there's at least one F.
Okay, so it's kind of like a funny game show thing. In this case, the category was homosexual terrorism. And so it was mostly making fun of a few of the things I had talked about on This Week in BS with Nervardia. We were talking about, oh, I forgot her name, the alien DNA demon sex lady. We were talking about that. And so the game show on Friday pokes fun at some of the nonsense and the bad science that we see. So if you're interested on being on the show, just, shoot me a message on Twitter, here in the comments. Let me know. That'll be kind of fun. Let's see. It was pretty fun. Purple Rhymes with Orange was on the show with us that day. Okay, sweet, Miss Ann. So next Friday, I think I can hold up to as many, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I can have as many as 9 people at a time. My audio level is very low. Let me see if I can turn it up. Okay. I will turn it up this way. I can turn it up here. Okay, hopefully that helps. Thank you for the heads up. Okay, sorry. There we go. Usually this picks up pretty well just about everywhere, Epsilon, but thanks for the heads up on that. All right. So, yes, so if you want to be part of the game show, next Friday we will be raising money for Godless Cranium to help him. They found a house. Now they've got to get a bit more money together to for a down payment, and this house is going to need a lot of repair. So, but this is awesome that they found a place. So let's see if we can get them in there. So that'll be cool. So you can check that out and have a look see there. Who's that handsome chap in that game show? Oh, are you talking about Critical Cripple? A very stable milking stool? Are you talking about Lividunum? Not certain. Which one? Okay, good. I'm glad that helps. Thanks for that. I have been rearranging things because my mic used to be over there and it blocked one of my monitors. And so I was just constantly having to look around it. And I'm like, I'm going to hurt myself if I keep doing it this way. So, yay. Yay. Missy Ann's going to play. Yay. I know Hannibal and Monty have said that they'll be on the game show sometime. So that'll be kind of fun. So I'm hoping to have this most Friday nights. I understand 5, I think, steps on the toes of some other creators. So maybe 6 p.m. on Friday night. I'll just kind of give that 6 p.m. Central. So that would be 7 Eastern. I'm thinking that might be a good time frame for most people. Even if you're overseas, that's a bit late. I know it's like 1 in the morning. But so there you go. And also next weekend we have the return of This Week in BS. It's a second episode, well, technically the 3rd episode.
Like, honestly, I think there's only 2 things that
Okay, so this is the 3rd episode that I've had with Nervardia. And she's my new co-host for the show. And so we're just talking about bad science, that sort of thing. And it's usually a different topic, so but here's a little snippet from that. Here's where we were talking about Pastor Greg Locke and some of his angry stuff that he was talking about. That's such an unflattering picture of him. I'm not sorry or sad.
This situation, it is the golden calf. I'm sick of Christians saying things like this. Well, it's just a mask. You know what they used to say? Oh, it's just a baby. It's just a zygote. It's just a growth in the mother's womb. So let's kill it. No, it's not just a mask. It's a compliance device.
Oh, God. He needs to get off the coffee one.
I mean, that's true. I mean, I made the joke here when I retweeted it. It was like, I don't know what's more upsetting. Seeing a fully grown man behave like this, or seeing a fully grown man behave like this while filming himself in portrait. Just turn the freaking phone. It's not hard. Jesus Christ, you've been doing it for long enough.
I mean,
just easy.
You know, his choice of mask is interesting. This whole episode was talking a lot about the different things associated with what she said about sex demons. And so we had some cheeky videos here and there. I'll just play a little segment of that because that was pretty funny. Let me see, where was it? It was about right here. Where was it? Okay, here we go. Let's have a look at this. I love Nervardia's reaction. This is hilarious.
It's off the beaten path to say that demons are sleeping with you overnight.
But demons are sleeping with people.
Are they?
Yes! People call me from all over the world for it.
I don't know about you, but I've got to say, I really, really hope demon sex is real.
Okay, I have to be careful because this particular... Yes, he did compare a mask to an embryo, Missy, and you're right. This particular episode got me a bit of a strike. Not a strike, but there was a community issue. So I got to skip because I don't have this age restricted, because this show technically isn't. But there you go. But
out of them.
Dr. Stella may not be able to tell me exactly what I need to do in order to, get satisfied by a demon, but
But there you go. I should probably stop there while I'm ahead before, YouTube goes, community guidelines. We're gonna stop your video. They did that already. But yes. You can check it out. They did put it back up, but it was removed for a day or two because we were talking about adult-oriented themes. Hey, Titan. You got here in time for demons. Yes. So do check that out. I'm not certain what the topic is next weekend, but we're looking at lots of different things. Or we've thought about trying to get an episode on deconversion therapy. So there's that. Also, some people who are pushing science on anti-masks, which is a thing. Again, there's some people who are citing studies. Another thing we could do is about COVID hand sanitizers. Different companies that are multi-level marketing schemes and how they use stuff. They say, oh, this is hand sanitizer, but it doesn't have all of the chemicals in it that the other stuff does, which isn't true. So we're looking at doing a lot of stuff associated with that. So if you have any topics that you are interested in, or any bad science products that you're seeing, or pseudoscience, send that to me or to Nervardia, because we're gonna try to make this a weekly show. She's in Australia, and so it's gonna float between Saturdays and Sundays for her. For me, on my end, Saturday nights and Sunday nights. It's gonna be somewhere around there. Let's see. All your high production values. You even have a topic for each show. I try to. Today I didn't have like a huge topic, but okay, there's so much stuff that's going on. It's like I'm part of 9,000 projects. I will be speaking for Nerd Night. I will be on Nerd Night, and I'll promote that. And that, oh God, it's tomorrow. I will be on If you're not familiar with Nerd Night, they're very similar to Taste of Science. And so I'm part of Taste of Science. I'm an event coordinator for my local group, and I help them with production from time to time for their particular shows that they do. I'm also a multi-time asked speaker for Nerd Night. And so for Nerd Night tomorrow, I will be talking about COVID-19 and scientific illiteracy. And I believe the title's called COVID-19 and Scientific Illiteracy, a Toxic Tango to the Tune of Bias. Y'all like that talk? Is that a nice title for that? So I will be talking about the role of scientific illiteracy and bias in COVID-19 and how that's contributed to part of the pandemic. I'm also shooting a video for IAA, not AAI. IAA. I've got my info back from my experts. I've consulted with 2 experts, and it's similar to bias that coronavirus is a hoax. So I'm now working with IAA to make educational videos on the importance of evidence-based education and debunking stuff and all of that. So I'm a bit late for that video, but but the information I got from my experts came back right before I went on vacation, and then immediately my job kicked in. So I'm a little bit late for that, but I should be shooting that this week and sending it to my experts for a final sign-off, and then forwarding that to IAA. And I'll be talking about the coronavirus hoax, myth, conspiracy. And I've consulted with Dr. Ian Bolton, who is currently the lead of the development of a COVID-19 vaccination with a group out in Europe. And I consulted with a professor in Arizona who works in basically human thought and psychology. And so I consulted with them. They signed off on my info, and now I'll be making that data. Not that data, but that video. So that's coming up. And because people said they wanted this so much, I put it out to individuals, and I'm like, okay, would you guys want me to do open course type of courseware, open educational resources for chemistry? Because not only am I certified to teach kindergarten, 7th through 12th grade science, including biology, chemistry, and physical science, I am also a college professor, or at least a budding one. And so I have access to open textbooks that are available on OpenStax. And so I'm going to start a series of videos on college chemistry, a general chemistry video type of series. Now, you won't be getting college credit for it, but if you're toying around with the idea of going back to school, or if you want to brush up on your chemistry, it'll be there for you. It's just an added resource. And with the work that I do, I've gotten so much positive feedback from the students I've worked with on the way that I explain chemistry concepts. I thought, why not make this available to everybody else? And it's with books that are already on the internet. It's not, textbooks that are associated with programs for colleges, so I won't get in trouble over that. People were like, "Won't you get in trouble?" Like, well, no, I'm not using material that I've made for universities or for colleges, but since I made the material, I can do something similar, but with textbooks that are readily available on the internet. So I will be doing that through the coming months as I'm going through and making things, and so that will be available to you. You can give that a go. Probably might delve into, biology or something. I don't know. Let me see how the chemistry goes. I technically don't have post-grad degrees in biology, but, can throw some high school biology together for you. Possibly AP level stuff. So there you go. I don't know. But whatever you guys think, whatever you guys want to do, what you thinking is cool with that, just let me know. I think I probably need to restart my Restream chat because it looks like it's not updating. Anyway, so we're getting close to, let me see. There you go. Your kid is in AP chemistry this year. He is super excited. Yay! I'm excited for your kid. If you need any resources, let me know. One thing that I use a lot of, just as a heads up, I have used the crap out of this resource. And again, it's online. It's completely free to use. You can sign up for an account if you want. And I push this resource pretty hard. So you got physics, chemistry, math, earth science, biology, all simulations, and even translated simulations. So let's just click on the chemistry here. I use these a lot in my lectures, in my online work I do. When I was generating an online lab notebook for lab simulations, I pulled a lot from this. I got some ideas from this, and then I applied more advanced level type of stuff to try to up the level. Because some of these, and the thing about these simulations, you can, if you have a kid at home, you can base it on grade level. They have this option here. If you got elementary school, middle school, high school, or university, it actually has, in addition to grade levels, it has different activities already written out, little lesson plan stuff, and it's age appropriate. So if we were to look at concentration, you can download it or you can run it in HTML. You can pull this up, you can play along with it, you can shake your drink mix in. And this is like for molarity. And then you can check your concentration. So it's moles per liter. The other thing I like, if you click on for teachers, you got you can set up an account for free here. And then it's got different assignments that you can do. So if you're having to homeschool at home, or if you got an at-home online student, or if you're doing a hybrid thing, whatever it is, they have lots of different simulations here that reinforce the content, and you can search according to topic if you want. So you can also do that. But I use so much of this stuff, and I up the challengingness and make it a bit more advanced for college. But they have lots of appropriate stuff for teens and kids. Alrighty, so you can check that out. All right. So I've talked about all those things. Okay. I'm trying to think anything else I left out. There's so much stuff going on. All right. So I wonder if I should read some mean tweets. Oh, you're welcome, Miss Ann. Let me know if I can help out. Also, if anybody is curious, you can always go to my website, ScientistMel.com/resources, when this pulls up eventually. You can go to resources. That's when I was 20 pounds lighter, maybe 30 pounds now. Thank you, COVID-19. I got PowerPoints here associated with the different videos I have. So if you're talking about thermodynamics, lightning, GMOs, even have one on Mr. Rogers, depression. I have PowerPoints here, various things, climate change, relativity, subatomic particles. There's my barbecue and beer, guys. I wasn't lying. Drugs, multiverse, EDS, junk food addiction, inflationary universe, all kinds of stuff. I have biology resources, biology activities. I'll add some chemistry resources here as well. So here's different activities for biology. So there's stuff here for teachers too. It's not just a shop. I do actually have resources. If you want to check out my shop, I have cool stuff there. It's finally updated where I don't know what it is, but it's not entirely seamless. So I've got not wearing a mask, stay the F away, and then I have like the actual swear word in there too. Then science is non-binary if you're into that thing. So you can check that out if you want to. None of that's required. But hey, all right. I am not going to keep you guys too much longer. I actually have I'm teaching chemistry this semester at a local college. And it's a challenge, guys. Four of the classes are hybrid, which means asynchronous lecture online, but in lab, but each one of those classes have 9 students. So it's socially distanced students spread out. So I'm doing that. And then I have one course that's solely online. That's non-science major chemistry. That kind of brushes people up on that and gets them a place. You're now under extreme alert. Oh no, hurricane warning. Oh no. Who had dual hurricanes on their 2020 bingo card? Anybody? Anybody had dual warnings on that? I didn't. But nothing surprises me anymore. If we had like giant tarantulas start attacking, places, yeah, it just, I wouldn't be surprised. Bye, Titan. Stay safe. Be careful. Hurricanes are terrible. Anywho, because of all the tropical storms, this is why I went to Missouri for vacation instead of like on a coast. But there you go. So if you guys have any topics you want me to talk about on this show, I think, oh gosh, there's so much pseudoscience. If you have topics for this week, can be BS, pseudoscience, bad science. So that's what the BS is for. Shoot me a message. Let me know. Let me know what you think. If you have any science topics you want me to talk about on this show, let me know. While I'm thinking about it, let's have a look at the latest from the National Science Foundation on science news, and we'll kind of wrap it up with that because I am up to my eyeballs in work. I wrote a course for a local college, their online course, and it all got approved, guys. I can officially add to my CV, developer of online chemistry courses. So that's cool. Yeah. So I'm excited about that. All right. So I have a lot of stuff I have to work on for that. So anywho, let's have a look at this. Climate change projected to increase seasonal East African rainfall. Plasma guides maintain focus of lasers. Thank you, Purple Rhymes with Orange. I'm excited about the course. And I'll be working on it for the next 3 years, tweaking it here and there. And they just recently changed the textbook for next spring, so I will be redoing some of those videos, which would be cool. ALMA sees most distant Milky Way look-alike. Highly sensitive dopamine detector uses 2D materials. Let's see, which one do we want to have a look at, do you guys think? Metallic blue fruits use fat to produce color and signal a treat for birds. There's so much cool science, guys. That's not cool. Sea level rise can make rivers more likely to jump course. Oh, that's not cool. Nanocrystals from waste of recycled wood make carbon fiber composites tougher. That's cool. Algorithm created by deep learning finds potential therapeutic targets throughout the human genome. Some of this stuff sounds pretty freaking awesome. Let's see what happened on my birthday. Let's pick something. My birthday was the 17th. All right. Nanocrystals, sea level rise. I want to see about the metallic blue fruits. Let's have a look at that. What's going on with that? Use fat to produce color and signal a treat for birds. So this is fat-based color, guys. I feel like I should be pretty colorful right now. I'm jiggly. It's all right. We're supposed to jiggle in places. It's all right. Okay, so this dazzling blue color of its fruit, that's it. So this particular plant owes the dazzling blue color of its fruit to fat in its cellular structure. Oh, it's okay. Yours was the 6th. Yay, Miss Ian. Happy belated birthday to you, too. The plant Viburnum tinus. I think is it tinus or tinus? Viburnum tinus? I think it would probably be tinus. Is an evergreen shrub widespread in the UK. Huh. Let's have a look at the paper. Goodbye. Is it open source? Oh, it's open source. Is it? No. This is just alerts. I want to see the actual paper, guys. But they have a video. This is kind of cool, right? Look at that, man. Okay. This is a video schematic of the reconstructed globular lipid layers of the fruit cells. Okay, so essentially what they did here is they took a 3D image. They made a 3D image out of the different layers of the lipids. So every single layer here is fat. It's an oil-based fat. And so this is found within the cells. And so lipids, since they don't like water, they're called hydrophobic, they kind of stick together. They hide away from the water. And so in this particular case, with this particular type of cell, these layers just kind of stack on top of each other like that. You could think of it in this way. If you've ever fried bacon, if you've ever, buy Purple Rhymes with Orange, August babies are the best babies. High five. If you've ever fried bacon or made a roast or something that had a lot of animal fat in it, you can notice that it'll form those little layers on top of each other. That's kind of how they stack. And depending on the structure of the particular molecule, it might stack a certain way and how it can connect to itself. And so for this particular molecule, this is what it does. It stacks like that, which is pretty cool. And I can't seem to get out of that screen. It is super trippy. How cool is that? Ooh, it's an open paper, guys. Let's go through it. Let's see, how do we read a thing like this? All right, so they've got the full resolution. So we saw this in the really, really cool video earlier. Why does Shabisky have all their posts being held for review? Is Shabisky on? Is Shabisky chatting? I don't know. Shabisky, are you on here? And I'm not. Let me see. Let me give Shabisky mods. How about that? Will that solve that problem? Let's see. I don't know why it's holding Shabisky stuff for review. I'm going to mod you, Shabisky. Behave yourself. It's okay. Because sometimes, I don't know what it is, but sometimes it just does stuff like that. And there you go. Oh, he's here. Hey, Shabisky. I don't know why your messages weren't popping up on my restream. So I just gave you mods, so you should be able to be all right. Great power, great responsibility, mister. All right. Let's get back to it. My goodness. Let me mod Missy in, too. I'm going to mod you, too. Okay, sorry about that. I need to mod people that I talk to and stuff. Oh, goodness. Okay. So, I won't keep y'all too much longer. But we see here, we've got this graphical representation. Let me see if I can blow this up. It's not letting me. Let me download the PDF. We're going to get the extended one. I want to see what this looks like, man, like for reals. There we go. That's better. So we saw the 3D version of this. And so here, this little bit here, this little stuff over here is the lipid. And there's a bit of the cell wall. So this is integrated into the actual membrane of the cell, okay? So it's blue because the actual cells themselves on that little surrounding thing that surrounds them are blue due to this blue fat. So does that mean Smurfs are primarily made out of fat? This is a question. Smurfs are made out of fat, guys. Maybe that's why they're blue. Unless they've been drinking a lot of colloidal silver. If they've been drinking a lot of colloidal silver, that'll turn you blue too. That turns people blue. Permanently. Don't drink it. Don't drink colloidal silver, kids. All right. So the cell wall, if you remember your early biology, those are inside plant cells, and they help retain the shape and the structure, you know, because most plants are pretty rigid, you know. So that maintains that structure, you know, the cell walls, and then the squishy stuff, the plasma membrane is inside of that. You know, Smurfs are fatties. Hey, you know, they do have little Smurf bellies though. Them Smurfing bellies are rocking. They all wear white pants. But at least the blue doesn't rub off on the pants, you know. Oh, gosh. Probably why Gargamel wants to eat them so much. She has the munchies for something fatty. You know, maybe. Or is it like a sweet fatty? Or is it like a salty fatty? You know, is it like sweet like berries, or is it salty like, you know, like bacon, you know? Blue bacon. Can you imagine blue bacon? I'm weird. Blue bacon. So how do you read a thing like this? All right, here's a pro tip. This is a report. So here's a pro tip. Don't read it like a magazine article. Don't ever read a science article like a magazine article. You start at the abstract. You know, and it even tells you a little TLDR, too long didn't read. You know, that's the highlights. That's the highlights, TLDR. And that's also the abstract. The abstract is the TLDR. Here's their abstract, their summary going on right here. So if you don't want to read all this, you don't have to. You can just read their little TLDRs, known as the highlights, or the summary. Now, if you want to call, if you're going to go and say, okay, is this BS or not? Is this garbage science? If it's from the National Science Foundation, that's not likely. They don't tend to fund bad science. They tend to not. They're pretty high vetting there. If you've ever tried to get a grant from them, I'm just saying. Pretty high vetting. When I tried to get a grant from them, they called me Stephanie, and that's not even my name. And they used the wrong pronouns for another one. So they just copied and pasted a generic response. They didn't even read mine. They're like, who is this person? We don't know who this person is. So copy and paste answer. Not hating on the National Science Foundation in general. I'm just saying you have to have a pretty well established reputation to get decent funding from them. I'm a nobody. So, except for this, you know, which is fine. You know, it's all right. So what you can do, what I like to do, if you want to know if it's BS also, and you don't want to go through all this, you can go to a website called PubPeer. If you're like, I don't know what to look for if I'm looking for bad science, check out pubpeer.com. They are a bunch of individuals all over the world who just take papers that are newly published, and if there's garbage in them, they rip it apart. So here's an example. Oh, sorry. This was posted 47 minutes ago. So they'll go through and they'll post a paper, and then other experts in the field will post comments on it. So look at the methods and materials. You will see they use the Protein Simple Automated Immunoblot System. This is what the output looks like. There is nothing suspicious here. So right here, somebody said that these look like perfect rectangles, and that's something that's wrong. Well, you know, so somebody else is like, hold on, though. This is technically standard for this sort of thing. So if you want to know what it is that scientists look at to see if something's garbage or not, check out PubPeer. I keep pointing this out to like other professors, students of science. If you're like, I want to know if a paper's garbage, look it up on PubPeer, because this one was just posted like 47 minutes ago. And it's relatively new study, 2019, renal physiology. Okay, so it has to do with this particular one. Cloning function and localization of human canine and Drosophila. So they looked at people, they looked at dogs, and they looked at fruit flies. And they were basically looking at ZN2 plus transporter protein. And they're looking at size of proteins, and that KDA is kilodaltons. We use a dalton as a measurement. Kilodalton is 1,000 daltons, so that is 230,000 daltons. But yeah. So if you don't want to read a whole paper, you can have a look, and you're like, is this a garbage paper? Look at it on PubPeer. This is a way that scientists call out other scientists. A lot of the COVID-19 garbage studies you can find on pubpeer.com. Elizabeth Bick BIK. She is amazing. She follows me on Twitter, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna fangirl if I ever meet her. She posts really cool images, and she calls them forensic images, and she'll show you duplications and show you what bad data looks like in ways that people try that are bad scientists that try to defraud others. And so you want to be the person that gets a Nature paper retracted because you caught something that those people didn't. So when people are just like, oh, scientists are just a conspiracy. No. They want to absolutely be the person that gets one of those super nice papers retracted because they wrote the publishers and were like, hey, publication company, you missed this. You got a little something right there. It's right there. You see that? Bad data. It's great. I didn't know science was so clicky. You got to be one of the popular scientists to get funds. Kind of. If you have a lot of publicity, you can get funding. But see, it's counterproductive too. There was the rock star surgeon, and I talked about him. He was an Italian rock star surgeon. Here he is. He got very popular because he got lucky for one particular thing. So popularity might get you funding, but it doesn't last if you're not good at the science. So here's a good example of that. Dr. Kahneman, the rise and fall of a celebrity scientist who fooled almost everyone. He got funding. He cut corners on protective measures that he needed for patients. People died because of the crap he did. I think I talked about this in one of my episodes, but we can always go back through and have a look. So yeah, his name is Macchiarini. Dr. Macchiarini, surgeon Paolo Macchiarini was hailed for turning the dream of regenerative medicine into a reality until he was exposed as a con artist and a false prophet. So he, it's weird. He ended up being, in his personal life, a liar too. So popularity, while if you got one really good lucky break and you end up getting popular, yeah, you can get funding, but it doesn't last. And this is a lesson right here. People that were on the Nobel Prize, like judges, people that were on like the judging of the Nobel Prize, they had to step down because he ruined their reputation. They backed him. And so if you back the wrong pony, you get destroyed too. It's almost very Roman, you know. You get a traitor, everybody who backed him, they got to question them then. And so, the best way to get funding is to do good work. And so if you haven't done and I haven't done a substantial amount of research, not that, you know, would be like, I've been published, but you know, not to the extent as to a lot of other people have been. And so I couldn't get funding because at the time I didn't even have a publication. So it's not so much clicky as what have you done, and how has what have you done compared to what other people have done, and how effective will you be with this money as opposed to the other people who have proven track records. That's what it comes down to. It's not so much clicky as it's what have you done, and you know, can you get it off the ground. So yeah, that rock star surgeon, Italian rock star surgeon, Dr. Kahneman. But it's weird. It's weird how that happens. Well, we learned a few things today. We learned a few things today. Let's see. I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we can talk about right off. I can't think of anything else right off. And it's 11:15. It's been a little over an hour now because I started a bit late. and OBS is still looking like this. My nice pretty background is just messed up. I updated OBS. Shame on me. But anyway. Anywho, I guess I'm gonna run, guys. Let's read a little Mr. Rogers and then I'll call it a day. I always like to read from Mr. Rogers. I miss him so much. Let's see. Alright, so this is The World According to Mr. Rogers. Alright, and this is Courage to Be Yourself. Alright? In order to express our sense of reality, we must use some kind of symbol, words or notes, or shades of paint or television pictures or sculpted forms. None of those symbols or images can ever completely satisfy us because they can never be any more than what they are, a fragment of a reflection of what we feel reality to be. Huh. This is pretty interesting. Hey, Aunt Jer. So, I'm going to go back through, Mr. Rogers. In order to express our sense of reality, so our sense of this is pretty freaking deep, actually. In order to express our sense of reality, we must use some kind of symbol, right? I'm wearing my scientific method. Bye, Nether. Words or notes or shades of paint or television pictures or sculpted forms. Here's my sense of reality here, right? None of those symbols or images can ever completely satisfy us because they can never be any more than what they are. A fragment, a little piece of a reflection of what we feel reality to be. So yeah. Oh no, I'm not on much longer, Aunt Jer. I've been on a little bit over an hour, but it's good to see you. It's good to see you. So I guess I'm gonna pop off here. I will be back next Friday night. Yeah, I'm wrapping up now. I'll be back next Friday night with self-isolation shenanigans, where we're doing a fundraiser for Godless Cranium. Tomorrow I will be on Nerd Night. I will send a link. I think they stream through Facebook. I'll send a link on my Twitter so you can come and hear me talk about scientific illiteracy and COVID-19, the toxic tango to the tune of bias. And then next Saturday I'll be back here with a more formal discussion. Shoot me a topic on Twitter, Discord, here in the comments that you'd like me to discuss. And next weekend, either Saturday night or Sunday Central, I'll have Nervardia back on for This Week in BS, where we will talk about bad science. Bad science. Probably, and if you're interested, and if you know any psychologists, we really want to do something on deconversion therapy for LGBTQ individuals, Q+, QIA+. So if you know any psychologists, send them my way. We're looking for patients or victims of deconversion therapy, as well as professionals in mental health. Okay. All right, guys. Well, it was good to see you here. I'll be back on a normal weekly Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Central is the normal time I stream. But I'll be back here every Saturday now that things have settled. And so I'll wrap up with saying this. You always make each day special for me. You know how? By just your being you. I will see you next time.